Hi, everybody. Jeff Patterson here with the Big Thing Effect, coach to game changers and teams around the globe. I want to share a phrase that I believe will help you. Fish gotta eat. Fish gotta eat. I was chatting with a friend recently, and he said, Jeff, what do you think? What do you think about all these geopolitical forces that are at work and the war that we're facing and all the instability in the markets and, the president and everything that's going on? What do you think about all that? I said, why do you ask the question? He says, well, I've been wanting to come out and really go for my business, but I worry that it may not be the best time. And I'm concerned with all this instability. And I told him those words that have come in so handy to me. Fish gotta eat. I said, here's one thing I know. I live on a beautiful river in Colorado, and it doesn't matter what time of day, what time of year, what the weather is like. It doesn't matter what's happening in the world around me. Somewhere on that river, a fish got to eat. I can always take my gear out and find a fish somewhere. And that's really true in life. This question my friend asked me reminded me of a client that I coached a number of years ago who was going to step out and really build his real estate business during the 2008 crash. And for the same reasons, was wondering, is this really a time to go for what I want? He had three young kids. His family was a little bit leveraged in owning their home, and he did not want to put himself out there and run the risk of failing. Now, this is a normal human response, and it's wise to pause and make sure that what you're doing is really important and really is aligned with your gifts and what you want to do. But I paused and had him tell me what success looked like. I had him write a vision. I said, let's go out a couple of years into the future. Let's go 5. Tell me what success looks like. What are you doing? What kind of results? What are the outcomes? How are you feeling? Who is that version of you showing up? And what does life feel and look like there? He got clear, wrote it all down. He had no idea how he would do it or even if he could do it, but he wrote down this vision. And just by doing that action and really seeing it there in front of him, he looked at me and said, Jeff, there's no perfect time. I'm just going to do it. Now, I didn't have to coerce him. I didn't have to tell him he should do it. Just the act of getting clear on both what he wanted and who he wanted to be gave him a tangible connection to what he was up to. You see, so often we're so distracted by all the bad things that could happen, our worries of what we don't want, that we don't actually sit down, get clear, write down, and commit to the clarity of what we do want to create. What I focus on, I'll create more of and I will feel. If what I'm focused on is all the distraction, the war, the instability of the dollar, technology, and what AI might do, I'm just going to experience more fear and more lack because that is what I'm focused on. So I shared with him back in the day that fish got to eat and that there's always a fish that needs to eat. And in any economy, people need to be served. People have to clothe their children. People need a roof over their head. People need to be supported in their businesses. They need accountants. Even though life is happening, people need to be served. Fish got to eat. Well, my client decided to commit to his vision. At that time, it was a big and audacious goal of making $50 million in his individual real estate business. He did that within a matter of years, shot to a number one producer in the market. And not only that, he's since 10x'd it. And as we reflected and looked back, I said, well, aren't you glad that you didn't let the market and other brokers and other and professionals in your industry deter you from really going for what you wanted? And he smiled. He said, yes. As it turns out, leaning into my business during that time was a strategic advantage. And once I got clear on the vision, I saw that there was opportunity, even though it seemed scary at the time, AKA fish gotta eat. So, what are you thinking about doing today? What are you hesitating or perhaps second guessing? One thing that will help you to get a tangible connection to what's possible is to see the actual vision of what you want to realize. Take out a pen and paper, write down an inspired future vision. Write it down as if it had already happened, as if it were a memory. Maybe it's 2 years or 5 years out, but see it as a done phenomenon. Write out all the results, the outcomes, what you're experiencing, and notice who you're being in that future. How are you showing up? What quality are you embodying? How are you leveraging and delivering your gift? Write that down, connect with it. When you do, you will feel a tangible, real world connection to the opportunity, not just the fear. And you will be in position to make a difference. And from that place, then you can choose. And remember, fish gotta eat.